Hello, granola cooking students. It's evening, the family is asleep, and I'm going to make some granola. The key to this recipe, it's a recipe without a recipe. So all you have to remember is the 6-to-1 ratio of liquid to dry. That's it. "250 mLs is my base measurement. So 6 of those is going to be 1.5 liters. And then 1 of those will be a 1/4 liter. But as I didn't even get through all my ingredients yet, I think I'm gonna have more than 6, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the ratio. So there is 6 measures of dry. So I'm gonna do even more. So those were sliced almonds, and today we're gonna throw in some whole almonds, because why not? Not too many. Okay, so I've got sliced almonds, whole almonds. Now I didn't quite get to the full measure here, so let's add our seeds. These are pumpkin seeds. Whoop. Now, we already did 6, now we have 8. Uh-oh. I'm getting a little crazy here. That's a lot of chia seeds. That's 10. That is 10 measures. Next thing, we have 10 parts in here. Now the easy way to do this is just to measure 6 parts, but I wanted to make a bigger batch, so I've got 10 parts. So we'll have to do a little math to figure out how much of the liquid part, because as I mentioned, it's 6-to-1 ratio. But before we get into the liquid part, I'm just gonna put a little seasoning, which is canela moída. You need 1 big metal bowl to mix this stuff in, and you need 2 wooden spoons. And you just kind of get all the oats mixed with the seeds and the cinnamon. And actually, you want to put a little bit of salt, but a very little bit, like tiny bit of salt. Okay, since I now remember, I used the 1/4 liter, 250 mLs as the base measurement, and I put 10 parts of dry mixed in as you saw me mix everything in. Now, I have to use the 6-to-1 ratio to get to the wet. The wet is mostly honey, but a little bit of coconut oil. It's 6-to-1 ratio, but I took the 6 and made it 10. We have to do a little math. So I did the math while I wasn't recording the video, and it turns out that if you have a 6-to-1 ratio, but you have 10 parts of the dry, and you have to figure out what the other one is, it's gonna be 1.67. So 1.67 times our base unit of 250 mLs is 417 mLs. So I need to get to 417 mLs of wet. And that is gonna be mostly honey, as I said, but a little bit of coconut oil. I'm just gonna take a scoop, like kind of a big spoon of the coconut oil, I'm gonna go up to 417. I'm gonna throw this in the microwave for just a second because I want that coconut oil to melt properly, just for like 20 seconds or less. There is a risk of putting too much coconut oil. If you do, it tastes kind of oily and not sweet and not so good. So the coconut oil should be not white chunky, it should just be clear. I got a few little white chunks here, but mostly it's clear. And now as I'm stirring it in the honey that's hot as well, so at this point, we just have to mix it well. So you have all this dry stuff and all this liquid stuff, and it just takes a little while to get it fully involved because it seems like it's not even enough liquid stuff to make it all sticky, but it is. Get your sheet pans and put a bunch of the mixture on the sheet pan. Now you can't put too much because if you put too much, it won't brown nicely. So you're just going to want to evenly distribute it around. Oven set to top and bottom and convection at 150. And want a couple of rows up, like that. And then I set my timer for 15 minutes. Okay, after 15 minutes, all you're gonna do is change the top for the bottom and the bottom for the top. And then do it for another 15 minutes. Okay, so now it's been 30 minutes, 15 on top, 15 on bottom. That's pretty good. You just want it golden brown. You know, the longer you leave it, the crunchier it'll get. If you don't cook it long enough, it won't be super crunchy. I'm actually gonna give these guys 5 more minutes. All right, as you can see, it's nice and toasty. All you have to do now is scoop it into your second metal bowl. Oh, by the way, if you don't have these silicone baking mats, you can either A, buy them. They're probably available at Continent, and if not, they're definitely available at Cesar Castro, the kitchen store. There's one in Baixa and one in Senor Torre. And if you don't have the silicone baking mats, you can use papel vegetais. I think that's what they call it. Parchment paper. Yellow raisins. this out so it cools. It's not crunchy right away, but as it cools, it gets crunchier. Now I'm going to load up the next batch. Okay, batch 2. For this quantity, I'm going to put 2 bags of these guys in there. Pretty tasty, but it's hard to tell yet until it cools and gets crunchy.